Hello, everyone. It is Monday, 13th of March. I don't want to go forward too fast. 13th of March. And today we're going to focus on the hands, the wrists, and the forearms. I just finished explaining to the live students how we need to align our wrists for push-ups. I will give that as a reminder. But for those of you following along at home on a video and you weren't in the live class, you can always write me a message and ask me about that alignment. Super important for your wrists and forearms, even for the shoulders and the neck and the elbows. So we'll start with a short massage. I'd like you to place your thumb just above the wrist. So if we had our hand like this, it would be above the wrist, okay, towards the body. And you're going to softly press in with your thumb, moving up to the hand. Just softly and gently, paying attention. If there's any pain there, you need not move into pain. You just need to notice and say, okay, something's going on. And then you press into the palm of the hand and make a couple of circles. Do it at the lower part of the palm of the hand. That is where your carpal bones are, okay? The longer bones that start here are the metacarpals, and we don't need to work those. We're working some of the tendons and things going on here in the carpal tunnel. Now we're going to go again. You'll press slowly upwards. This is working the fascia and affecting the fascia, and then make a circle when you arrive, affecting the fascia of the hands and the wrists, which will affect your alignment and your forearm, elbow, all the way up to the shoulder and neck. One more time. Press in softly, softly. And then when you get to the bottom of the palm of the hand, a couple of circles. Once you've done that, make a circle with the hand. It's kind of like Indian dancing circles. Change the direction. And then we softly shake our hand out. Good. Bring your hands in front of you and notice the difference between the right and the left. Often what happens is that you've got more liquid and lymph flowing through the hand that you just massaged. So let's do the other side. I'm going to take off my watch. If you have a watch, please take it off as we do the massage. Go above the wrist and start pressing inwards, just soft. There's tendon there, there's nerve, there's vein and arteries going right through here. So you don't want to press too hard and you don't want to keep pressure there. You just move up until you get to the palm of the hand and then start again. Moving up. It's working the muscle, tendon, there are ligaments in there. It's a very complex structure. And circle again. And it's good to massage it every once in a while. If you work at an office and you're on your computer all day, it's actually a really good thing to take a break every once in a while and do this massage. And be sure that your hands are aligned on your keyboard. That's super important as well. All right. Once you've finished, make a circle with the hands and the wrist. It's like an Indian dancing or even Thai dancing. Change the direction perhaps. Yeah. And then softly shake out. We're going to do some shaking out today during our practice. So everyone who is standing right now or sitting, come up onto your hands and knees. Onto your mat. Hands go underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Now, I want you to just take a look at your hands and align them, just like we spoke about before. Fingers pointing forward, check the wrists. And one way to check the wrists is to see the wrinkles that are made on your skin. Those wrinkles should be a little bit rounded, and it's like a wave. If you dropped a pebble into the water, those make like rounded ripple waves that would go to the front edge of your mat, okay, on both sides. And if that's not the case, maybe you need to move your hands around a little bit so you get those wrinkles that are like those ripples of water. From here, take a deep breath in and curl your spine. And breathe out and round. And notice that the weight on your hands, it should actually stay the same as you do cat and cow. Breathe out and curve. And again, we're going to breathe in. You lift your chin, you press your hips up to the sky, and you breathe out. You're rounding the spine, breathing out. Feel that all of your fingers stay down, as well as the thumbs. Palm of the hand is down and the knuckles are down. Nothing lifts as you do cat and cow. Come back to a flat back. Bring your knees together and stretch your right leg behind you. Now, keeping the head aligned with the spine, take a deep breath in, raise the right leg. Now we're going to work a little bit with the head and the leg. Lift your head, lift your foot as if you want to touch the back of the head, and then stretch straight and look at the floor. Now, while you do this, you may feel like the pressure is going different on both hands. Make it the same on both hands. Breathe in, bend the knee, lift the head. Breathe out, stretch the leg. Keep the weight the same on the hands. Breathing in, bend. Breathing out, straighten. One more time, breathing in, bending. Breathing out, straightening. And bring the knee down. Open your knees now. And I want you to walk your hands forward as you sink back into child's pose. Resting the hands and the wrists. Now, sometimes when we start to pay attention to the pressure on our hands and wrists, we start to feel like, wow, they really are worked hard and there's a lot of pressure there. A lot of it is our awareness going to our hands, and we realize that, well, shoot, when we do yoga, we are really working a lot the hands and the wrists. It's important to pay attention to that and to your alignment. Come back up onto your hands and knees. Walk the knees back in. Notice the alignment of your hands. Look for those ripples of water on your wrists going forward, and stretch your left leg behind you. See if you can get your hands pressing into the floor evenly. Raise the left leg. Deep breath in, bend the knee, bring the foot like it's going to go to the back of the head, and then breathing in, stretch it. I was breathing out, stretch it. Sorry. Breathing in, bend, lift your head, and breathing out, stretch. Again, breathing in, notice your hands, breathing out. 2 more times. Breathe in, breathing out. Here's the last one. Breathing in, whoo, and breathing out. Ay, ay, ay. Bring the knees down, open the knees, walk your hands forward and sink back. And just relax your hands and your wrists. From here, lift your head, look forward. Make sure your hands are perfectly aligned, wrists perfectly aligned, palms down, fingers down. And you're going to lift up onto your hands and knees, keeping the hands out in front of you. And we'll practice downward facing dog. So tuck your toes under, bring your feet hip width, lift your head and check your hands again. So the wrinkles may have gone away, or maybe they're still there. But what you want to look at now is that your palms and all of the knuckles are perfectly pressing downwards into your mat. Relax your head now. Make a little yes with the head. Then a little no. Then again, a little yes. And begin pedaling your feet right and left. Now notice your hands. Notice how you're feeling in the hands and the wrists. You really want to get them aligned. Straighten both legs. Come into a plank position now. Shoulders over the hands. Lift your head. Lower your knees. Move yourself softly to the floor. Point your toes. Lengthen out your legs and rise to a little cobra. Check your hands in cobra, hands are down, wrists aligned. Bring yourself back down, tuck your toes, push back to downward facing dog. We're gonna do that 4 more times. Pay attention to the hands. Come into plank. Lower your knees, lower yourself down, slow. Point your toes, lengthen out, rise to cobra. And push back to down dog. Whew. Back to plank. Ay, ay, ay. Moving down. Point your toes, lengthen out, rise to cobra. Pushing back to down dog. 2 more times, let's go into plank. Notice what's happening, hands, wrists, elbows, shoulders, move down. Point your toes, lengthen out, rise to cobra. And we have 1 more time after this one. Let's go, last one, plank. Moving down. Point your toes, rise to cobra. And downward facing dog. From down dog, bring your knees down. You can come to kneeling if you have any issues in the knees, or you can sit down onto your heels, clasp your hands together, and make a figure 8 with the hands to relax and let go. Excellent. When I do this kind of practice, I really start to feel, oh my gosh, how much pressure we put on our hands and our wrists for the different exercises we do in class. So please, this is to emphasize the importance of good alignment. Good alignment. Shake out your hands. Good. From here, set your fingertips down in front of you. Come up to kneeling. We're going to come up to rising from here. So place the palms down, tuck your toes, push until you're on your feet, walk your hands back. Feet are hip width, hands to thighs, lift yourself up into a chair. And then from chair, we're going to stay here, straighten your arms, bring your right shoulder forward, look over your left shoulder. Come back to center. Left shoulder forward, look over your right. Good, back to center, we'll do it again. Right shoulder forward. Back to center. Left. Oh, it feels good. Back to center, 1 more time each side. Right shoulder. Back to center, and the left. Back to center, come all the way up to standing. Shake your hands out again. As I mentioned before, we're going to be doing this a lot to really release the hands and the wrists. Take some big steps forward till you reach the front edge of your mat. Separate your feet hip width. Find your perfect posture, grounding down, big toes down, a slight dialing out of the feet. Lift the chest away from the hips, shoulders wide. Arms completely straight and your hands by your sides. This is your perfect posture. Chin is parallel to the floor. Okay, let's get some moving on, okay? Hands to the heart center. Let's go. Deep breath in, rise. Stretch skyward. Fold, elbows come to knees. And then set your hands down, stepping back to a long plank position. Lower your knees down. We're going to do 1 push-up here. Draw your throat and ears back. Go down as low as possible for you and push back up. Coming all the way down now. Point your toes, lengthen out, rise to the cobra. Push up only onto your hands and knees. Walk your hands off the right-hand side of the mat. Press the hips back and get that side stretch. Back up off the left-hand side of the mat. Get that side stretch. Back onto the mat, tuck your toes under, rise to down dog. Raise your right leg up, press it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing the foot forward, step the rest of the way forward. Hands to thighs, come up into chair. Swing your arms back behind you, then up to the sky. And come all the way up to a standing position. Good. Perfect posture. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise. Folding elbows to knees and then all the way down. Step back to your plank. See if you can step back with the other leg, switching legs each time. Move your knees down. Check your hands are perfectly aligned. One push up, go down as low as possible and push back up. All the way down. Point your toes, lengthen out, rise to cobra. Push up onto your hands and knees. Getting that side stretch in, left hand off the mat. Press your hips back. Then right hand off the mat. Press your hips back. Good. Back onto the mat. Tucking your toes, take down dog. Left leg comes up and press it to the sky. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing it forward. Step the rest of the way forward. Hands to thighs, come up to chair. Raise your arms behind you, up to the sky, and then up to standing. Perfect posture. Hands to heart center. We'll go a little bit faster, just a little. Deep breath in. Folding, elbows to knees. Step back to plank. One push up. All the way down. Cobra. Down dog. Check the alignment of your hands and wrists. Right leg up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing it forward. Step the rest of the way. Hands to thighs. Lift the chest. Raise the arms behind. Then by the ears. Then up to standing. Hands to heart center. Notice we've taken out the side stretches. Deep breath in. Fold it forward. Stepping back to plank. Switching legs. Bring your knees down, one push up. All the way down. Cobra. Down dog. Left leg up. Press it. 5, 4. Work the glutes. 3, 2, 1. Swing it forward. Step the rest of the way. Hands to thighs. Lift the chest. Arms behind. Up. And all the way up to standing. 2 more rounds. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in. Rise. Yes. Fold it forward. Good. Step back to plank. See if you can switch the legs each time you step back. Good. Knees down. One push up. All the way down. Good. Point your toes to cobra. Yes. Down dog. Good. Right leg goes up. Press it. 5. Yes. Work those glutes. 4, 3. Yes. 2, 1. Swing it forward. Excellent. Help yourself up. Swing your arms back and up to the sky and then to standing. Find that perfect posture. Beautiful. Hands to heart center. Going again. Deep breath in. Folding. Step back with the opposite leg. Bring your knees down. One push up. All the way down. Point your toes to cobra. Down dog. Yes. Lift your left leg up. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swing it forward. Getting into the chair position. Up to the ears and then to standing. Good job. Shake your hands out here. Shake them out. Relaxing and releasing the hands, wrists, and all of the carpal tunnel that we have. Hands to hips. Bend your knees. Raise your right leg up and bring your hands to the heart center. Now, this is a very nice releasing position for the hands. Fingers should be spread. They don't have to be extensively spread, just softly spread, palms together. Set your gaze and begin leaning back. Lean back a little bit, just for a challenge. 3, 2, 1. Come back to upright, looking forward. Now set the right leg back behind you. Set the toes down onto the floor behind you and turn the heel in. So we're in a warrior position with the legs, okay? Left knee is bent. Place your hands at your hips now and open your hips diagonally towards the front right corner of your mat. Your right leg should be back. You're turned diagonally towards the front right corner. Open your arms up wide. Now this is a modified warrior two. It's shorter and smaller and better for your hips. So sink down here. Set your gaze at your left hand, stretching the hands straight. Be sure your wrists aren't lifting, broken, or down. They're stretching completely straight. Turn your left palm up, keeping the hand aligned with the wrist. Reverse it, lifting up. Bring the right hand down to the knee, and the left hand reaches to the sky. Good. Holding, lengthen your neck. 2, 1. Now as we rise back up, I want you to straighten both legs. So you have the right foot diagonal, the left foot facing forward. We're going to fold over into a triangle position. Left hand goes to the left ankle, right arm to the sky. Creates a very nice stretch down the left leg. The knee is soft. Never block the knee. Keep it soft. Look up to the sky, twisting open. 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring the right hand down and place it where the left hand was. Now, the left hand will go to the left hip. If I show you from the side, from the opposite side, it goes here. Push your left hip back, okay? When you push it back, you should feel even more stretch down the back of the left thigh. Fold yourself forward. If you can get your fingertips to the floor, do that. See if you can lower your nose down to your knee, holding 3, 2, 1. Set your right hand back onto your left ankle and set your left hand onto the left hip and twist open to your left. Turning the shoulders, turning the head. Now, if possible, raise your left arm to the sky. So we know this from Power Yoga. It is the triangle sequence, and we're doing it in a shortened version, which is much healthier for your hips, knees, and back. 3, 2, 1. Good job. Bring the hands down. Bend your left knee. Set your fingertips down on the floor, like the tips are down, like you're lifting up your hands in the dome position. And raise your right leg. Raise it up and we'll pulse here. 10, 9, 8, 7, almost there. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right foot down. Whew. Hands to the thighs. Push up into a chair position, just like we did in the warm-up. Swing your arms back. Swing them by your ears. Hold it here. 5, lift the arms high. Yes, good. 4, hips way back and down. 3, the knees stay as wide as the hips and the feet. 2, one more deep breath in. 1, come up to standing. Refine your perfect posture. Good job, everyone. Good job. All right, we're gonna switch legs. Bend your knees, softening them up. Hands to heart center. Raise your left foot. Here we go. Set your gaze in front of you. Palms together, wrists aligned. And let's lean back. Look to the sky and hold. 3, 2. So good for balance. Woo. And here I've lost mine, but stay there. 1. Send the left leg back. Bring the heel in, so you're diagonal with the left foot, and the hips are pointing diagonally to the front of your mat to the left, okay? Hands to hips, bend the front knee, but be sure the front knee doesn't go beyond your toes. Raise your arms up, stretching right arm forward, left arm back. Stretch your wrists, stretch your hands, staying there, breathing and holding. 3, 2, 1. Turn the right palm up, reversing Reach to the sky. Lengthen out your wrists. Lengthen your fingers. 3, 2, 1. Come back up and straighten your front leg. Fold forward, bringing the right hand to the right ankle. Left arm to the sky. If it's comfortable, look up to your left hand. If not, keep looking down. And we hold and breathe. Lengthen out your spine, lengthen your neck. Stretch the hand nicely to the sky. Good. Softly bring that left arm down. Left hand replaces the right hand onto the ankle. Right hand to the hip. Press the hip back so it lengthens out the back of the leg. Bring both hands either to the ankle or to the floor. If you need to, you could always use a block or a pillow to keep your balance here. Set your left hand now onto the ankle. Set your right hand to the hip. And begin twisting open to your right. Turn your shoulders, turn your head. And maybe raise your arm. Good. It's a shortened, twisted triangle, holding. Breathe deeply. Yeah, good job. One more deep breath in. Bring your hands down. Bend the front knee. Lift your left leg. And pulse it up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're almost there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot back down. Get yourself into a perfect chair position. Swing the arms back. Swing them up by your ears. Hold it here. Deep breaths. 5. Hips back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up to standing. Well done. Hands to hips. Bend your right knee, bring it out to the side. Ankle, a little bit higher than the kneecap or the inner thigh. Raise the arms for tree pose. So here's where we balance out right side with the left. We calm the breath. We calm the mind. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more deep breath. Good. Hands to hips. Lower the leg. And we change sides. Left knee out to the side. Ankle, knee, or inner thigh. Arms up, lift your chest, focus your eyes. Staying calm. And you're moving into that calm space. You know you have that power of becoming calm. Just let the penny drop. Just let yourself drop into that calm space. Hands to hips and lower the leg. Good. Step to the front edge of your mat. Hands to heart center. Deep breath in, rise, stretching skyward and fold. Elbows come to knees and move yourself into a plank position. Legs are strong, hands under the shoulders. Lift your head, lengthen your body, and we hold here. 5. Watch your wrists. Are they aligned? 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your knees, lower your chest, hands under the forehead, and just move your hips from side to side. Well done, everyone. Reach your right arm out in front of you. See if you can reach it out straight in front. Thumb pointing up. Left hand underneath the head. Raise your right arm and left leg and hold it here. Bring it back down. Move the hips from side to side. Left arm out in front of you, thumb pointing up. And let's go. Left arm, right leg, and hold. Bring it back down. Move your hips from side to side. Lift your head. Bring your elbows and arms out to the sides in that cactus position. Elbows are bent, palms face down, but look at your wrists. Make sure you're not breaking at the wrists. You have that aligned position, okay? Where your fingers are lined up with your forearms. Lift the head, chest, and shoulders, and lift the legs, and we hold. Breathe here. 5, 4, 3, squeeze the shoulder blades. 2, and 1. Coming back down. Move your hips from side to side, relaxing and letting go. Head comes up, bend your knees, flexing the feet, set the hands on the tops of the feet at the heels. You could always simply reach here or clasp your hands together. If you got your hands on the heels, press the heels into the hands, rising to that modified bow, and we hold. 3, deep breaths. 2, and 1. Come on back down. Hands under the shoulders, push up, walk your knees forward, and you can come to kneeling or sitting on your heels. You could also sit on a block if that's more comfortable for you. Raise your right arm, bring the right hand behind the head and neck. Raise your left, turn it, and bring it up the spine until you can reach and touch your hands. If you cannot, it's not a big deal. You just reach for it, keeping the head, neck, and back aligned. And we'll breathe here. Opening the eyes, release your hands, fingertips on the floor to either side of you, and softly roll your shoulders, big circles. Yeah. Other side, left arm goes up and behind the head and neck. Right arm, we turn it and reach. If you can grab it, that's great. If you don't grab it, it's still great. You just keep reaching for it. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Opening your eyes, let go. Fingertips on the floor, nice big circles. Good. Okay, we'll take the block out from underneath if you have one. Bring your feet to one side. Coming to a seated position, grab behind your thighs and softly roll down onto your back. Bringing the knees to the chest, begin rocking from side to side. Yeah, just letting go of the back, the legs. And we'll set our feet down, hip width. Elbows into the floor so that you can lengthen out your wrists and your hands. Fingers point to the sky. Open the chest by pressing down to the elbows and opening the chest, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other at the upper back. This counteracts our rounded back position at work. So you want to open. Raise your hips up halfway to maximum. This is a halfway bridge. And we're going to take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, pull your perineum up, squeeze your knees together. You pull all the muscles in your lower abdomen upwards towards the belly button. Breathe in, open the knees. We do it again. Breathe out, squeeze and pull up. Breathe in, relax and open the knees. Breathe out, squeeze and pull up. Remember, you never press down. Breathe in, open the knees. And again, breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. 2 more. Breathing out. Breathing in. Last one. Breathing out. Breathing in. And lower the hips down. Soles of the feet together, knees wide, hands at the fronts of your hips. And just hold here for a moment, just relaxing. And you get a little stretch of the inner thighs. Now press the soles of your feet together so there's a squeeze going on at the glutes and at the hips. Raise the hips up so it increases that squeeze, and it's a really good, strong workout for the hips. It's called frog bridge. Elbows can be back down again to open your chest and to lengthen out the hands and the wrists. And we press skyward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Each time you squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the hips back down. Lift your knees back up. Separate your feet hip width again. Good. Shake out your legs a little bit. Lift your hips up. Raise your right foot and place the right heel onto the left knee. Glute work. Let's go. Press up. 10, 9. Oh, it's so good. 8, 7. Squeezing the left glute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stretch the leg, point the toes. Let's go. 10, 9, 8. Bring it up. 7. Yes. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the foot back down. Woo. Left heel onto the right knee. Same thing. Press it up. 10. Squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch the legs straight. Point the toes. Lifting. 10, 9, 8. Squeeze it tight. 7. That's it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the foot back down. Bring the hips down. This time, knees together, feet wide, to let your hips and low back relax. Hands onto the tummy. Take some deep, slow breaths. Making sure that the breath is not going into the lower abdomen. It stays in the upper abdomen. Yeah. Okay, last bridge. We're going to do our yogic bridge. Feet hip width, elbows into the floor, knees hip width. Raise your hips up as high as possible. Squeezing tight, use your legs, lengthen your belly, lengthen your neck, press down through the elbows, and we hold. Deep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Raise your arms over your head, stretch long with your arms, and lower your back 1 vertebra at a time. Very, very slowly. And once you're all the way down onto the floor, let's go back to the reclining butterfly. Soles of the feet together, knees wide, arms still stretched over the head. And just breathe deeply and slowly. We let go here. Let's gently raise the knees back up. Good. And lift your knees up to your chest. Rocking softly from side to side. You can really squeeze your knees against your chest. Good. Coming back to center, lift your head and shoulders, nose in between the knees, round out completely. Lowering the head down. Lift your feet up and come to a happy baby pose, grabbing underneath the feet, knees are bent, and you open your feet as wide as your body, okay? And you'll feel there's a stretch going on in the hips, low back. If there's any pain, please back off it by bending your knees more. And then wherever you can grab either your ankles, your calves, or the bottoms of your feet, let's stretch out the right leg. Maybe you need to let go of the foot and just grab around the calf. That's fine. Stretch it out diagonally to the side and hold here. The left knee stays bent in the happy baby pose. Breathe. And then release, bending the right knee again and change. Left leg stretches out. You can grab around the calf or ankle if you need to, and we hold here. Deep, slow breaths. Rebend both knees. Good. Now cross completely, right leg over left. I want you to get the thighs touching each other, right thigh against the left thigh. Either you grab just below the knee or the ankle or the feet, and you lift the feet towards you, towards the shoulders. If you're grabbing underneath the knees, you're gonna pull your calves wide. This is a really nice stretch for the hips and the IT bands. Hold and breathe here. Release the stretch, keeping the legs crossed. Let your knees fall to your left. Just let them fall over. Stretching your right arm out to the side. Once your feet touch the floor, you can take your left hand and press even deeper into the twist. Depending on your sensations, just listen to your body, what feels right. Good. Lift your right arm up and roll to your left hand side, uncrossing the legs. Grab your right ankle or your pant leg and push the right foot behind you. Bringing the heel as close to the glute as possible. Knee is aligned with the hip, stretching out the quadricep. Bring the right knee to the right shoulder and roll onto your back. Good. Cross your left leg completely over the right thigh. Grab either calves, ankles, or feet and pull the lower legs wide as possible. It's like the feet are going up towards the shoulders. Releasing this, keep the legs crossed and allow your knees to fall to your right. Slowly, slowly, the feet touch the floor. Stretch your left arm out to the side, and the right hand can come on top of the knee to push it even farther, go even deeper into a twist. Rolling softly onto your right hand side. Grab a hold of the ankle or the pant leg. And pull the foot behind you. Knee goes back, getting the stretch of the quadriceps, as well as a little bit the hip flexors. Good, good. Bring your left knee now towards your left shoulder. And let's roll back onto the back. Bring both feet flat, knees are bent. Clasp your hands together. Point the hands to the sky and begin making a circle on the sky. It's a really nice massage and release for your upper back. And I do know some students that do this during the day because they start to feel a lot of tension in the upper back. Change the direction. And this helps to release that tension. All right, bring the clasped hands behind the head. Elbows squeeze in front of the face. Lift your head, chin towards the chest. Get that stretch down the back of the neck and hold. Lower the head softly to your mat. Stretch one leg at a time onto your mat and bring the palms of the hands facing the sky. Arms by your sides. Take some deep, slow breaths in and out of the belly. See if you can get an expansion into the belly and a release out of the belly. Deep and slow. And as you rest here, become aware of your feet as you breathe in and soften as you breathe out. Become aware of your legs as you breathe in and soften as you breathe out. Becoming aware again of the hips, softening as you breathe out. Let's do the hands and the wrists. Become aware of the sensations there and soften as you breathe out. Your arms, your shoulders, softening. Back. Your tummy and your chest. The neck, throat, and jaw. All of the tiny muscles in the face, softening. Your scalp, even the hair, feel like it's softening. Imagine right now that the floor underneath you becomes really soft. And you begin sinking into the floor. And it rises up around you and cradles you. It's pleasant, it's a good feeling. Now begin breathing more deeply again. And feel as if the air around you is also softening and cradling you, protecting you. And begin deepening your breath once again. And now begin to move your fingers and your toes. Yeah. Raise your arms up over your head and stretch from fingers to toes. Good job. Softly lift the knees up against the chest and squeeze the knees against the chest, rocking from side to side. Good. When you're ready, roll all the way to your right hand side and lift from the side, pressing down into the earth to lift yourself up. Nice. Let's rub our hands together. Good job. Bring your hands over your face like you're cleaning your face. Gently tap around your eyes, shaking your hands out. This time, we'll rub our hands together and we're going to do a very soft and gentle yoga for the face exercise. I'd like you to place your 3 middle fingers underneath your eyes. And you have muscles underneath the lids to close your eyes from the lower lid up. So lift the lower lid like you're squinting to close your eyes and then open. And your fingers are softly set there. It's like weightlifting for your lower lids. So lift again. 5, open your eyes. 4, open your eyes. 3, squinting, open your eyes. 2, and 1. Good. Palm your eyes now with both palms. Notice how the eyes are feeling in the lower lids. Peel your hands away. Bring your hands to your heart center and open your eyes. Well done, everyone. Have a nice afternoon. Namaste.